I will introduce all of us in a sec. Okay, everyone, welcome back to the Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition tournament. Today, I am Ashrin. I'm here on commentary with Elthorant, and we're going to be taking you through this exciting race in the lower round of Saastutin and Static against each other. Hi, Elthorant. What's up?
Hi, what's up? I'm having fun getting ready for this race. It looks to be interesting between Saastutin and Static, like you said. And we again gonna have two different routes. So Sass is gonna do the usual ESM melees, the currently preferred route, while Static is gonna do the old one. So still melees, but with the proper RTSR, as you can see by him about to start the game with the Hunter class. So it's gonna be fun. Nice to see.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it as well, and just to see how this is gonna match up. I think it's gonna be great. I haven't actually had a chance to brush up on both the routes either, so there's a lot for me to learn these races. But
It's fine. You probably do better than I could ever. So
so yeah, we're just gonna have a great time commentating over this run and this race, and we hope both Sass and Static have a fantastic time. We also have, as usual, predictions up for anyone that wants to predict who will be the winner using your internet points or channel points. But yeah, I think Elthoryn, if you think that maybe we're ready, then we can do the countdown for Saastutin and Static, and I'm gonna pull them into the runners channel so they can hang out there in silence and just listen to the game while we do our thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So the way it's gonna work, I'm gonna count you down to 5, and then at which point she's gonna force start the timer, and the runner feel free to start when the -15 reaches 0. So okay, let's do this. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and force start. And we should see the timer starting to run.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pull them into runners. I'm gonna banish them somewhere else so they won't have to listen to us as they're ready to get into their race. Yeah, the
Nice.
countdown to a countdown, because you know that's the professional way to do it, right?
Exactly. Okay, so we're gonna have very different asylums, just because. Actually, maybe not, because if he's gonna grab RTSR, he might grab the bow in Dark Road Garden. So we'll see. But yeah, but still, he definitely did not grab the firebomb, so he's gonna have to kill the Asylum Demon with the long sword, or a short sword rather.
Oh, is he doing the randomized?
I have no idea what it did, honestly. I think it's just a unlucky timing with the menuing that just made him fall off the ladder, because this game is great. Best game ever made. Okay, so yeah, like we said, we're gonna see Saastutin just taking care of Asylum Demon with the black firebombs, so it's gonna be pretty easy. Well, Static should just keep right through it. Yep. Because he needs to go upstairs, grab everything that's upstairs, and he's gonna kill the demon afterwards.
Little plunge and a series of attacks. Saastutin already making some good time here. It was a pretty good Asylum Demon.
Yeah. Indeed. I'm curious whether it's gonna pick up the bow or not, because I guess there's no reason not to grab it, but we'll see, I guess. Okay, Static doing some weird gestures on Oscar. Poor Oscar killing the man. But I guess it doesn't really matter, because he would just die 5 seconds afterwards if he wouldn't, so it's fine. So Sass already on his way out of Asylum, and as you can see, like, if you've seen a bunch of speedruns but never a race, you're probably wondering why he's not quitting out. And the reason is races are measured on real time compared to in-game time, which is the usual for speedruns in Dark Souls 1. But since the quit out actually takes longer, like many of the quit outs that you would usually see will not be here today.
Silent Demon being a little bit mean, jumping away there from the door, making Static have to chase him down.
Yeah. And now both runners are on their way to Underberg. Static obviously, like, he's gonna have the harder time at the beginning, especially, but we'll see how it goes. Like it happened many times in this tourney already. Like in a race, anything can happen. So yeah, it doesn't really punish you that much to grab this lower route, as long as it's cozier, I would say. But we'll see how today ends.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see like what kind of like safety decisions that they're gonna make as well, and then like what ends up being really mean to them in the run, because anyone can like get ahead at this point, just because there's so many like fair RNG fights that can put any of them ahead or behind. So we'll see how it plays out.
Definitely. Not to mention deaths, which hopefully we won't see, but you never know.
Nice, you got through the Dragon Claw. Okay. You know what? It's been a little while since I've run Dark Souls myself, and I do not miss Undead perk at all. And
oh, definitely.
Yeah, because I've been doing Demon Souls, and Demon Souls is a lot like running through Undead perk, and I don't miss both right now. I don't envy these runners at all.
Wow. Yeah, especially because 99% of the time everybody in here behaves just the same. But then there's that 1% of time that they just decide to jump at you instead of throwing a bomb and all this sort of stuff, and that's not pleasant. Let's put it that way.
Sass going for the pine resin on a dagger there. See how Taurus plays out for him.
Seems like a clean fight. And Static should have the advantage because he's got more damage on Taurus.
Make up some time there. Clean fight for Sass there. Nice, one of the hardest bosses done. It's all uphill from here.
Yep. So there's actually two different ways that you can do this route, depending on whether you drop the Drake Sword or not. So if everything goes right, or even if you can recover, like in this case, you should get the Drake Sword, and it should be a pretty comfy route. Otherwise, I'm assuming it's gonna have to go to grab the pike in Sense Fortress, although I'm not sure.
Yeah, let's hope we don't see anything like that, but
yeah.
I'm really glad that they're running different routes here, because it really kind of like shows the advantages and disadvantages of each and where they're stronger.
Yeah, especially because the Sass route is basically the evolution of Static's route. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it changed over time. We have another tail cut. Okay, so the glitch is about... Oh, actually, do you want to explain this? Since maybe you remember this better.
No, go ahead and explain it.
So this glitch that Sass is about to do is one of the most commonly known glitches in Dark Souls, so widely used, even in casual runs sometimes. And it's called Sense Gate Skip, and it does just that. It allows you not to load the gate of Sense Fortress into the game. And you do it by triggering this special bird's eye view cam that is doing right now, which is called the death cam. Basically, there's two hitboxes right on the side of that, of the stairs in there. One is to trigger the death cam, and one right below it is to trigger the kill box that will actually kill you if you were to fall in that region. But since you hit it in a very specific way, you just trigger the death cam, and the game thinks you're about to die, and so we'll stop loading assets for new areas. So we'll see. We will see him pretty soon going towards Sense Fortress, but the gate will not be there, or the bridge.
Yeah, you did perfect with the explanation.
Yeah, and it's one of the first glitches that was discovered as well. I think the very first historical speedrun already used this as well. Or maybe I'm wrong.
Was it? Because I know that it was inspired by what was found in Bloodborne, because they initially found the death cam skips. Yeah, they initially found the death cam skips in Bloodborne and realized that was possible. And when they realized it was a thing, they basically knew some of these like vulnerable areas in Dark Souls, and they just went and looked through the code and then realized where they can like basically find the hitboxes to clip into death cam, and then just exploited them. But
Yeah. Oh, the chat is already correcting me. I had no idea. I actually thought because one of the longest parts to do in a regular run would be to go through Blighttown twice. So I would assume this was the first one to be discovered because it just saves so much time, not having to
you
go
would
up and
think
down
so.
the rafters either. Well,
Yeah. I actually did not
I
pay attention if Static did flower skip, but dropping down to the basin here.
I was looking at Stas actually performing the wall break. So we're gonna see Static. He's gonna grab the real RTSR right now, because like we said earlier, like his route is not the ESM that everybody's doing. And ESM, what it does, it's called equip slot manipulation, and it allows you basically to equip any sort of item in the ring slot. But since the game does not recognize it as a ring, it just converts it to a ring, and it uses the ID from the dodge. So basically, what it's gonna do is gonna grab the red sign soapstone, and that particular item shares the same ID as the RTSR ring. And so when you glitch the game to keep it in the ring slot, it's just gonna turn into a fake RTSR. So again, SAS, the early game of SAS is way faster than Static route-wise.
All right. That's going on Iron Golem here. Static picking up the red Tearstone ring.
Yeah, and we see SAS already on move swap, by the way. Do you
Right.
wanna explain?
Sure, I can explain through swap. So if in Dark Souls, if you basically are in the middle of an animation, which is often a roll, you can actually two-hand the bow in your left hand, and it's the only weapon that you can actually two-hand in your left hand in this game. While you have your rapier equipped on your right, which is a thrusting weapon, generally what you want to be able to execute the move swap. And as you're queuing up an action and entering another one where we're going to be swapping out not the rapier, the bow into our preferred weapon, the one that we want to move swap here, it's going to be the Drake Sword. As long as we're in that animation and we do that menu prompt really quickly, it will basically cause us to two-hand the Drake Sword in our left hand, which is impossible. It can only be two-handed into our right hand. And because it doesn't have and the bow doesn't actually have like a rolling, running, or plunge attack, the game needs to borrow that information somewhere. So what it does, it borrows the information from our rapier in our right hand, the left hand taking from our right hand, and thus the Drake Sword gets equipped. It's two-handed in our left hand, and being able to use the plunge attacks, running attacks of the rapier, which gives us this nice double poke, which is great amounts of damage, as you saw there with Iron Golem.
Yep. And we're gonna see a lot of that. It's very common in speedruns compared to the edition. Like, say if you've been playing remastered, that doesn't work in there. That's why most routes in remaster are with BKH or any of the other Black Knight weapons.
Right, you don't
Or
get as
magic
much
in the end game.
Yeah, you don't get much variation with remastered just because of how little weapons that you have, and mostly you need to farm them that can do as much damage as move swap can. So yeah, you just have less that you can do in remastered altogether. But here you can like move swap any weapon that you want, and you have some options. Like you got BKH, famous. You got BKS, and you have DT. You have quite a few options that you can go through. And Drake Sword is generally like the transition weapon that we need before we get our optimal.
Yeah, just
In
take
most
care
cases.
of Iron Golem. Yeah, but then since this is all bosses, in the end game we're gonna see a lot of magic as well, because Dark Pits is one of the most powerful things that ever existed. It's disgusting, honestly. So combining Dark Pits with the RTSR and the Crown of Dusk and all that sort of stuff, like they're just gonna melt bosses in the end game.
Yeah, anything that increases our magic damage.
Yes. And we're gonna see in a little bit Saastutin just grabbing the firstborn ring, whatever that's called, Sun firstborn ring.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's purely because it needs that to initiate the ESM glitch in order to generate a fake RTSR.
Let's see how.
But also, obviously, he wants to grab the bonfire to just warp here later. Ring of the Sun's firstborn. I wasn't sure actually.
You have great memory. I would have not remembered that on the spot. I'd be like,
Honestly,
you know that ring outside, like Gwendolyn's room? Yeah, that one.
yeah, honestly, I didn't even remember what it does. Has to be something with fate or something. Boosting miracles, I guess. I don't know. There we go. So we're about to see Iron Golem on Static side.
Yeah.
So Iron Golem, when everything goes right, it should be pretty fast. But the thing is, it's pretty hard to actually aim the leg properly. But since he has, like, it's not running ESM, so he's got quite a bit more damage on his Drake Sword right now. And yeah, it took exactly half the hits that it took Saastutin. So that
Right.
was a pretty fast fight.
Yeah, it wasn't the right cycle there, but he took down Iron Golem really quickly. And this is one of those fights that is really satisfying, that once you practice it enough, you feel very competent doing it, and just bringing down Iron Golem becomes like a piece of cake and just like habit, essentially.
I mean, speak for yourself, because I still feel like trash at it.
I was trash at it for a very long time until I knew like what the hell I was doing. It's a hard fight to sort of master at the beginning, I would say, because
Yeah.
like you said, it's all about those like leg hits, and if you get them wrong and you get them at the wrong time and you don't manipulate his AI well enough, then he will basically just misbehave.
I like to think that I know what I have to do, but I just can't do it. But whatever. Hopefully I'll get there.
Look, you ask me to do it now, I would not be able to do it. I don't think my muscle memory is that fantastic. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Sass getting safely
so-
to inside an Orlando, right? To go on to
Yeah,
ONS.
the cozy thing about these routes is that you can just grab this bonfire, because in all the routes, in all the categories that you cannot take this bonfire, it's just such a pain. Because basically ONS is the biggest reset point in most routes and categories. So if you can't grab this bonfire, a death at ONS is a guaranteed reset.
Mhm.
But it shouldn't be too much of a problem here, even if ONS do not behave.
I mean, if you
And,
weren't doing any like competitive speedruns at any point, or like, you know, you're still working on a PB that needs to be optimal, then a death to ONS can be fine. But generally, if you're just trying to optimize your run, a death at ONS is always a reset.
Oh yeah, and there's plenty of deaths at ONS. But to be fair, even if you don't die on ONS, like, they can just dance around the room for 3 minutes. And
Yeah,
just
they're
still
it's a
make a
great time
reset.
loss, absolutely. If you, the really fun thing is like to ask speedrunners to basically upload their life splits into, I can't remember the site right now, that can like basically break down for you where you reset your runs the most. That's always really nice to see that pie chart, like how big it is at some segments versus others. It depends on like obviously what category you're doing. For some people that might not even be like at a boss, but like at an item pickup, or like, you know, breaking boxes next to the Undead Merchant in Undead Burg. It can be all kinds of stuff.
Or the plunges in Blighttown, Ayami.
Oh my god. Sass.
Yep, like we said. Like I said, ONS, it's a heavily RNG based fight, so
Good thing you had that safety bonfire.
yep.
Let's see what Static does here. Yep. He's going to completely obliterate this knight out of the way with the Drake Sword R2.
And yeah, by the way, you're gonna see a lot of menuing during door openings or fog gate, just because you have nothing else to do there. So usually you wanna do your menuing in there whenever you can.
Alright, let's see how Sass does on his second attempt at ONS. Because
Yeah.
Static is right on his heel here.
Quite interesting seeing him enter on the left side, because usually when you
Ooh.
die or you have
Yeah.
to quit out or anything,
I generally enter on the right side as well.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
just more consistent usually. But
Sass playing it risky, but pulling it off there, even though getting hit once by I think it was Smo. Hopefully Smo behaves here, and you can just stagger him back to back with the Dragon Tooth.
Yeah, I would say with this setup, Smo is pretty straightforward, but first of all, your muscle memory has to be on point.
Or
Because
that
if you
happens.
mess up the timings, if you mess up the timing, you could just have a regular attack instead of the running one, and you're basically sitting ducks at that point, and that's not good. Or the hitbox could just straight up disappear on on Smo, but he made it through. GG on that. So we're about to see Static approaching ONS as well. Let's see what he does. He has a little bit more damage, I suppose, so he should be able to just, I think, two-shot
destroy them.
Ornstein.
Let's see what opening they give him here. All right, classic dash opening, exactly what we want.
Yeah.
Oh, did not get a chance to hit Ornstein there in that opening. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I guess he was a little bit out of position, but maybe he was just playing it safe.
Yeah, I feel like the roll behind Ornstein there wasn't lined up well enough that it would give him a chance to stagger Ornstein once before Smo joins. This is where the fights really become chaotic. Like, if you ever see speedrunners do this, they make it look really easy.
Oh.
But the minute that you kind of like don't, fall into whatever opening they give you, and you miss your opportunities, then it just becomes utter chaos. Really,
just like a this in point, how it just happened.
If you don't kind of get those like first hits in the opening, and you like behave in a specific way to capitalize on those openings, then it just becomes just a mess of like trying to separate them from each other so you can get those opportunities. He's trying to set up RTSR here again with a knight, or moving onwards and taking some extra fall damage to get into range of RTSR.
Yeah. And as we were saying last week, like when you see speedrunners running with Dragon Tooth, they make it look so easy, but it actually takes quite a lot of practice, because the problem is the timing, because you have to consistently pull off the run attacks as fast as you can, but there's delay on everything in this game, so you have to start running at the perfect time and attack at the perfect time. Otherwise, you either don't get the run attack or you're just sitting ducks.
Yeah. Artorias is a really good one that people make mistakes on sometimes with that, especially if you're like kind of like starting off running these categories. Getting used to move swap is hard. So whoever like tells you that speedrunners are cheating and they make the game easy, they have no idea what it's like to actually get to this level of proficiency. Because when you commit to an attack with move swap, you're basically committing your entire stamina bar. And that is a really deadly decision to make. If you're out of position and you've decided to go for a move swap attack, then you're pretty much caught without any stamina at all. Like right here, like Static has no chance to roll away in case anything goes wrong. So he's pretty much dead if he hasn't made the right call. So it's all about that split-second decision making. And then also just knowing the fights in and out to be able to make those decisions on the go.
Yeah, definitely. Also, a conversation that happens often with, especially with challenge runners that never really gotten into speedruns, or those that have tried doing glitchless speedruns. Like they ask, I mean, don't you feel like cheating the game and all this sort of stuff? But in reality, like practicing and actually pulling off glitches and skips, it's quite satisfying, because it takes a lot of practice and a lot of know-how to do that, especially under pressure.
I mean,
so we definitely encourage everyone to like join the Discord. First of all, let me post the link.
Yeah, it's also discord.gg/speedsouls. Perfect place to come in and ask questions if you want to learn anything about these games in relevance to speedrunning, and people are pretty friendly and helping you out, and actually really excited to help you half the time.
Yeah, and also this would be a good time to remind that we're about to have our annual marathon, charity marathon, November the 4th, I believe.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, so definitely join for that, because that's gonna be pretty fun.
Right, so I guess maybe I can talk about it really quickly here. The Speed Souls Charity Marathon is an annual marathon. We do it every year during November for the most part. This year is a very special one. It's our 5th year doing it. So we're going to have a bigger event than ever, and it's going to be 4 days. Pretty much 4 days of back-to-back Souls series speedruns. Obviously, we have some other runs going on as well that aren't Souls series, but it's a pretty exciting time. People always talk about how like welcoming the environment is, how much Souls content that you get over the course of 4 days, and it is for Save the Children fundraising for charity. It's super awesome, super fun. We got some really fun runs coming up this year. If anyone's had a chance to look at the schedule, like item randomizers. The relay race is always a fan favorite where this year we're going to play through every single one of the games in chronological order of release, starting with the first Demon Souls game and ending with Demon Souls Remake. So it's going to be any percent and it's going to be great fun. Oh no, gargoyles.
Oh. Gargoyle fight not going as expected because it's usually a pretty straightforward fight, but I'm assuming it missed 2 hits. Double kill, yeah, that was okay. He saved it in style, so
yeah.
Okay.
Because he was supposed to take care of the first guard before the second one even like made it to him, but he got smacked around a little bit, which can be annoying.
Yeah, well, I was kind of looking at the plunges in Blighttown, but I'm assuming it missed 2 hits on the first gargoyle, which is pretty weird. But the hitboxes in this game can be quite erratic, so I'm not surprised. And another point that a lot of people make is, why do you ring the bells if you're doing Sensei skip anyways? And well, in this category, obviously it's all bosses, so they still have to kill those 2 bosses. But the bells themselves, it's just we need them to open the kiln, first of all, the way to the kiln. And second of all, the only reason you do Sensei skip before that is because it's faster, because you can grab that dragon tooth way early in the game, and then both Quelaag and the Gargoyles fight are going to be very easy. So
yeah, Route said have you go to Quelaag first, or because that fight can be painstakingly slow and annoying. I personally don't like routes that have Quelaag up first.
Yeah.
Yeah, people die to Quelaag. It's not a fun death, especially if you're doing Blighttown skip. And having to redo that, especially in a race setting, kind of sucks, not gonna lie. But, you know, some people also really enjoy performing Blighttown skip.
Like any Ayami the Hedgehog in the chat? but no, yeah, but I said easy, but what I actually meant is comfy, let's say. Because if everything goes right, you should have no problems. But like in this game, everything can go horribly wrong at any point in the game. So, like you said, she could just straight up destroy you without giving you a chance to hit her. So we're about to see some planches in static side as well. So Blighttown, everybody hates Blighttown round. So the speedrunners found like 345 different ways to skip it. Some harder, some easier, but yeah, we're seeing right now Static doing some just some cozy roll downs in here.
This is probably the
Playing
easiest method that you can do when you first start off to get down through Blighttown and still relatively fast. Yeah, I mean, you lose a lot of time if you die to like Blighttown skip, so maybe going down through comfy drops is just nicer sometimes. But yeah,
especially in a race.
Yeah, in a race, I feel like, at least in that situation, it's all about making smart decisions. Knowing where you could potentially like lose time, knowing where potentially you might have like some weaknesses, or you know, you want to try and match up with your opponent, and just kind of making those comfy, safe choices where it could mean that if you did it and your opponent didn't, you might get ahead and you might win.
Yeah, especially we've seen over and over again in this tourney alone that the cozy but longer routes won against the faster but riskier routes many times. So, because in races you really never know. Like, carried over to the lava.
Yeah, he was just standing in a very bad place there. So Quelaag turned around and her legs just sweeped him right into.
Yeah,
the lava.
Which kind of makes you wonder, why would Quelaag turn all the way around? Because he wasn't even there. Like, she just looked at the wall, basically. So quite unfortunate, but...
I kind of wonder, because like he could have essentially also gone for a really like specific kind of setup there, where he like staggers her head and alternates between head and, you know, her booty, to make sure that he has her like in a nice little loop. So she doesn't really misbehave, but I didn't really pay attention to the start of that fight to be able to see what he did, what choice he made.
Yeah, it was just bad bad luck, honestly, because he was carried away, and then since he was carried a little bit further away, Quella kept turning, and etc. Rinse and repeat, and she
Yeah.
basically did a 360.
We're starting to see magic come out in Sass's route here, using the Soul Spear to take out Stray Demon. Yeah, I was about to say it Sound Doom. I was like, oh, that's not it.
Yeah, it's basically a Asylum Demon.
Yeah, just
There's
a
3 Asylum
reskin
Demons
of
in
Vanguard
this game.
Demon from Demon Souls.
Yeah, you're actually right. But I think you're biased lately.
Bias? No, I upset a lot of people in Demon Souls because I refer to these like the bosses in Demon Souls, like Vanguard Demon, I refer to it as budget Asylum Demon, and then Tower Knight is budget Iron Golem.
I guess that would enrage the hardcore fans. But yeah.
Potentially.
Okay, so Sass is on his way to the Painted World. Exactly, and the reason for it is because he's gonna need to grab the red sign soulstone to perform the ESM, like we explained earlier. So in many routes, you used to see Gwendolyn and Priscilla way later, but in this case, like he wants to get RTSR as soon as possible, so that's why he's doing it right now.
Did I miss something? And did Static die again? Because
I was
look,
wondering
look
the
at
same
it.
thing,
Yeah,
because
see,
it looks like a
the souls
looks like
are sitting right there. Yeah, I don't know, because I saw him
yeah,
last
definitely
doing the drop, and then oh, he's going for the plunge. Let's go, Static.
Yep.
Okay, got the
Nice,
first plunge.
got it.
Nice. He's not going for the second. He's just going for a drop. Honestly,
Yeah.
I find the first plunge is harder to do than the second one most of the time, because the second one I feel like I can like fix rather fast, and then the first one's like if I'm just off by a little bit, then.
Honestly, I never done the second one, so.
Really? So you only do the first part of the plunge? I feel like that's the hardest part.
Alright, maybe I should do the second one.
The second one's easy. Yeah, you gotta do it. You gotta follow it up. You gotta commit. First plunge, go
Well-
for second plunge too.
Well, I mean, honestly, right now I'm doing any percent, so I'm using BTS, which is pretty fun.
Which
Like I
part?
mentioned
the,
earlier,
the,
like when
the
you-
farming part, or because
No,
BTS
the,
is not a fun weapon. Oh, BTS.
It's actually
Okay.
BTS, so
Okay,
Blast
okay.
and Skip. So
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
it's quite fun
Yeah, yeah.
actually. Like I said earlier, when you actually practice the skip and you manage to get it consistently, not like Recall or Catalyst style, but like consistent enough for myself, like it's a pretty good feeling, you know. So, although I do a slower version.
I haven't started doing that at all. It's like the one thing I told myself that if I wanted to keep running Homeward Wrong Warp, then I would do BTS so that I can make my route even faster. I like being a little annoying there. Ooh.
Oh,
He was standing slightly off center. She clipped him.
yeah, I figure it's kind of having some anxiety right now because when it's so easy to get in the wrong state of mind once you start losing to something, and that's usually what happens. You never lose once
Yeah,
at something. You just lose 2 or 3 times at
Yep.
the same thing.
it's not even Dark Souls being hard anymore, it's your brain being hard. I mean, I've been like this, you know, doing a run for an event, and I've come all the way to Blighttown just to do a plunge, messed up one, and then just kept messing it up over and over and over again. It sucks because you feel like time is ticking, and you have to fix your mistakes. You can't just reset, which is a really sucky mentality sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Quelaag has quite a few memes associated with her. It's like, it's no joke when people just get really pissed off with her because she can be quite annoying. Like, even the hitbox of her lava, you can technically not be standing in it, but the hitbox is like wide enough that you will take damage anyhow.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I guess I jinxed it for him earlier. Sorry, Static. My fault. Oh. Yeah, that's definitely his brain.
Hopefully
Being
Static. Yeah, hopefully Static will get through it. I wonder if we're actually gonna see him forfeit. Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
like it.
I guess yes.
That's
Looks like he is.
unfortunate. But that is okay. It does happen. Sometimes in these races, you'll find yourself making one mistake
Yeah,
and then it just getting to you.
there is absolutely no shame. Like
Yeah.
we've all been there, even watching people like Catalyst or Goal or all the big ones, just getting frustrated with the game and not being able to even reach on Alondo for a full day. So that's absolutely no shame.
Absolutely. It can literally happen to anyone, everyone, and there's just like some point where you really feel like it isn't redeemable, and the people that generally do continue their races and whatnot, even like when they get so far behind, are just kind of doing it because they can, and not
Yeah,
much more than that.
can we get some hugs for Static in the chat?
Yeah,
Just to showing some support.
it was just also just really nice to see two routes up against each other. So
Yeah.
well done, Static. It's great to watch.
Okay, so now we're gonna see Saastutin approaching the Hydra. It's gonna do some very specific plunges on the bridge here to set up our TSR, which is just generated with the ESM that we talked about 2 times already. And there we go. And I guess it's gonna grab the ladder. Just no, it actually goes for the plunge to cancel full damage, and he makes it. A lot of people have been using the ladder during races just because it's safer and And we see him now taking care of Hydra, which with magic compared to other routes, it's comfier. Still not comfy, but comfier definitely. And he took care of it, no problem. So now he's gonna be on his way to grab to free Dusk. At which point he's gonna be able to go to the Duke's archives to grab the peculiar doll and kill Sid on the way, so that it will be ready for the DLC part of the game. And there we go. So now he's gonna run all the way back to Dusk to do some groceries before he actually goes to the archives. And by the way, the bonfire I just grabbed, the secret bonfire in Darker Garden, is pretty common for speedruns just because it's just so close to a lot of stuff. So having Moonlight Butterfly, having Sif, having Dusk, having all these spots close to each other makes it really, really comfy to just go kill a boss and then dark sign back and kill another boss, rinse and repeat, and blah blah. So it saves a lot of time running around.
Yeah, it's
Or
really
warping.
cool routing as well.
Yeah.
It's just also really satisfactory. I mean, personally, for me, depending on which part of the route I'm in, whether I want a period and stretch of running so that I can gear up for the next boss, or sometimes it just feels really good to just get 4 or 5 back to back.
Yeah, definitely does. And there's a lot of specific bonfire choices made into routing speedruns, obviously. So it's gonna do some duping here. We haven't really explained duping even either, but basically what it's doing is storing a value in the game's memory. In this case, minus 999, and basically the game is gonna use that same value to do all this stuff. It's gonna be used. It's been used 3 times already to dupe souls, dupe items, and buy stuff. Another similar glitch called prom swap has been used to buy something that you couldn't afford. So a whole lot of glitching and duping going on.
It's basically a lot of these glitches are menu exploits done with the game. Prop swap is a really unique one where if you're playing on PC, you can both utilize the controller and the mouse to be able to swap into different menus simultaneously, which allows you to buy things that you couldn't and don't have the value for the souls for, which is, I think, really awesome. It was discovered about, I don't know, I want to say 2 years ago now, but my timeline is all off. But things like that are really awesome to see discovered every now and then. Quantity storage, I think, being one of the oldest ones where you can literally dupe your souls so many times over using the quantity box and quantity value from a previous quantity prompt.
Yep.
onto another.
And duping, duping is obviously one of the most sought after glitches in any kind of speedrun, really, for any kind of game. So there's ways to dupe. There's multiple ways to dupe stuff in both Prepared to Die edition and remaster.
Yeah. But I think quantity storage is the one that like even casual players who don't even plan to ever speedrun do. It's like look at the tutorials of like quantity storage on YouTube, and pretty much everyone has attempted it, even playing casually, which is nice.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of always like the recommendation is when you watch speedruns, try and attempt some of these like skips / glitches yourself for your own casual playthroughs, and playing around them a little bit, you find yourself getting a taste for more, and then before you know it, you're kind of like speedrun ready. Just need to learn a route, apply what you've learned, and it can be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Also, I could conceivably see someone just getting it by chance. Because at the end of the day, like if you reload the game, if you just quit out of the game and get back into the game, you're gonna have 99 stored as a default. And so if you accidentally try to use a soul as soon as you log in, and just basically press the D-pad down, you're gonna get it. So
Sif was a good
and we
girl.
get a very clean Sif fight. Nice and sus. And now it's gonna go. It's gonna upgrade this Dragon Tooth, by the way, with the dragon skills that he just duped, and it should be on its way to the Duke's Archive. There you go. Again, doing some menuing while the game runs the warping animation, just because you have nothing else to do. And at this point in the round, by the way, he has hidden body, which is gonna be quite useful because you can just run through rooms full of enemies without being noticed. So quite cozy.
I think it's not that you're not noticed, but there's a delay on like the AI of the enemies triggering, so you have like a split second before they notice you. Sometimes using hidden body can actually not work to your advantage, especially when you want the AI of an enemy to behave a specific way, but they don't know you're there if you have hidden body cast.
I think the way it works, like they can hear you, but they can't see you. So that's why AI behave differently. But with very specific pathing, some areas get quite considerably easier. For example, entering the Capra Demons Arena or the clams before see it doesn't really save that much time, but it makes it way safer.
So I think we're gonna see a nice Duke skip here.
Yeah.
From Sass.
Another very well-known, I'm calling it glitch, but it's not technically glitch because there's no glitching happening. But this is pretty well known, even in challenge runners sometimes use this. And what it does is basically skips Sith first encounter and the whole prison area of the game. So it's quite useful for when time is of concern. But it's not as easy as it may look.
I think you would just call it a sequence break.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think even like no-hit runners do this. So it's not even just like exclusive to like speedruns if they wanted to. I could be wrong though. Because I feel like I don't always understand the rules of like no-hit, and I haven't really delved into that.
No, their rules are quite messy. Basically, everybody says something different because the official rules, for example, they state that meme rolls or air rolls are allowed, but some say they're not, some say they are. It's kind of complicated. But Duke Skip, I believe, like some very famous challenge runners are using it right now, so I think it's officially allowed right now.
Yeah, so what Sass
but don't quote me on that.
What Sass did is basically pull down the lever of the elevator to then like get onto a specific railing of it, dropping onto it. If you wait too long, you'll obviously fall to your death because the height and difference between you and the elevator is way too large. And then once he's on that ledge, he needs to position in a specific way to roll onto another one as he comes up to the floor that he actually wants to land on. So angles is everything when it comes to a Duke skip.
Yep.
Is he gonna do? He's not gonna do slope quit out, or is he just gonna go down?
Yeah, I doubt
the
it.
regular way.
If he does it, he gets my respect forever.
Okay, all right.
Life,
He's going down the regular way.
Yeah. So there's another way to go down here, which Ashwin just said, like slope quit out, but it's quite frame perfect. So we haven't seen a whole lot of that in this tourney for obvious reasons. Also, it doesn't. I believe it might actually not save that much time because again, this is real time, and so you have to quit out for that. So that's, I don't know. Maybe Rigol can say, but like if it saves time, it saves probably just 1 or 2 seconds. I'm pretty sure.
Something tells me it's a little bit longer than that. I've not actually timed the difference, but
I'm not sure. I'm sure Rigol knows. But
let's hope he doesn't get clams into his Seath fight.
yeah,
But I
again,
guess
we
that's
didn't
not
embody. It shouldn't be
a
a problem.
Yeah.
It could be because again, if I understand this correctly, they can hear you. So if I don't know, maybe the game decides that you're stepping too hard on the floor at some point, they're still gonna follow you earlier than they normally would. But looks like it's fine.
Yeah, breaking the crystal there to start the fight. Move swapping within the fight. Seat goes down. Going well. Is really interesting things based on like whatever Souls game that you're running, but the timing that you generally like either homeward bow now or sign out or whatnot on bosses is important and is something that you kind of get with a little bit of feel and practice and looking for visual cues. Because if you do it too early, that boss is like not classified dead. You do it too late and you obviously lose time, but it's safer.
Yeah.
And
some of them are like a very evident visual cues. Some others like that it's just practicing muscle memory, and you can still fuck it up pretty consistently. But yeah.
But yeah, Static put on a really great show for us. Unfortunately, things did not go very well in their run, and they had to step away for personal reasons. But good effort to them for, running as long as they did to Quailag before forfeiting. So we're just catching Sass's run and how it develops.
Yep. And I guess if he realized that Static quit, I guess he's just gonna go for every safe strat that he possibly can. And we're gonna see him grabbing a Dust Crown just to make Dark Pits even more OP. And on his way to the DLC. So the Guardian fight is actually quite interesting because if everything goes right, like it's pretty fast, but it could just throw lightning at you for 5 minutes and just not give you a chance to attack it.
It'll be fun. Just watch. Great opening.
There you
See, it goes down really fast up in this. So.
Yep. There you
2 bops and done.
Very clean fight. GG.
Tell me, Elthrin, did you end up doing any remastered all bosses, or are you thinking about doing any all bosses for Prepare to Die?
Prepare to Die, yeah, definitely. I'm never going back to remaster.
Okay.
I might go back just because I was so close to getting the PB I wanted in No Wrong Warp. So I might go back for it, but I don't think I want. Just because, like we said, like it's way less variated because you only rely on BKH for pretty much all the routes. So
Is it worth
I
it,
really
though?
don't know what to farm that.
Is it worth it to go back for the world record?
No, not the world record. I'm never gonna be able to get that. But no, but I was very close to top 10 a bunch of times, but then some weird stuff happened. So I really want to go back at some point, but I don't know if I have the mental fortitude to keep farming big age. So hell no.
It's not for everyone. So then, Prepare to Die all bosses? Ooh, there we got to see an air roll.
Probably. Either all bosses or maybe No Wrong Warp before that, but probably all bosses. Just because I've been having so much fun watching the tourney, so I'm probably gonna go with ESM.
ESM, okay. I feel like because any percent is such a short route that you don't see like all the kinds of like glitches and sequence breaks that you have that you can like utilize to make the route fun. And any percent is so short-lived that even just the number of bosses that you see are very little.
I mean, the reason I personally decided to start PTD again with any percent is because it's short. Because
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
a
It's a
lot of
great starting
variation.
point. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's also a lot of variation between PTD and remastered. So it would it makes sense to me to just get used to the game again with a short route, because in case you never run both games, not you, but if in case anybody in chat never run both games, but when you run in PTDE, the controls are way different, the camera is way different. Like there's a lot of subtle differences that you might not notice in a casual playthrough, but in challenge runs you definitely notice those. Especially with the camera, you have to constantly babysit the camera and then make sure it doesn't move on its own, and it's hell. So there's that.
Let's see how this Gwendolyn fight goes. There's the RTSR setup. Hopefully some good RNG here for Sass. Alright, letting him advance forward. That's good. Oh, this is
Yeah,
looking
should
really
be able to
awesome.
take it out.
Yeah.
There you
Hell
go.
yeah. Okay. Nice job
GG.
taking out Gwendolyn.
Yeah, very clean fight. Especially with now he has RTSR, so it's way easier to do Gwendolyn. That's the reason he went to the painted world earlier, so that he has access to RTSR for all these bosses. So I think is he going for Goth?
Goffless?
Oh no, Gothflake's alright. Oh yeah, never mind. I got confused.
No. Going for Goffless Calamite.
Yeah, my screen is kind of dark right now, so I might tilt it because I thought it was going the other way for some reason. Okay, so Gothless Cape is one of the most recent additions to the speedrunners arsenal. Actually, well, there was another way to do Gothless Calamite, but this new way that you're about to see is, I think at this point it's 2 months old, and
Something
it's
like
actually
that,
pretty good. Yeah, it's actually pretty good because it's way cozier than the old way of doing it, which relied on Great Magic Shield and, you know, also added a bunch more preparing before the skip.
Right.
So what he's doing is basically running in a very specific way into a very specific spot, so that it does trigger these special attacks from Calamite. And with some very clever timing, it's gonna be able to just come to this safe spot that was discovered, blaster 3/4 times. Looks like that was a fourth. Then go to this spot, shrug a little bit just to time properly, then go back to the other safe spot and
Calamite
blast
moves
it again.
around. It's really impressive because it used to be that, you know, you would just have to go to a particular area, hold up magic shield, and just like wait for the onslaught of Calamite. But like now to be able to like snipe Calamite out without even going to go is really, really awesome. I think even I was having conversations with Regal about this, but I think he was saying that Gothless Calamite is gonna also like potentially make some melee routes of all bosses more viable now versus magic. And sort of kind of putting them back into the ring for like the kinds of like variations you could have for competitive all bosses routes.
Oh, definitely.
I think it's really awesome, and it's like this game is just every now and then something else is discovered that makes it so much more fun to like.
Yeah, I guess that's why so many people have speedrun this game for so long, because you just discover new stuff every couple months. And then routes can be optimized or changed entirely. So
yeah, hopefully every couple months. Sometimes there's droughts, but yeah. Have we found a big discovery? I mean, would Goalless Calamite be a big discovery this year, or are we still due for a big one? I wonder. Because in Speed Souls, it's all about waiting for Christmas for that nice find that really changes things up.
And I recognize some members of the challenge run community in chat, so it's nice to see that they're getting interested in speedruns.
Aw, nice. A decade in the making, I see.
Yeah. So, we're gonna grab Dark Beats right now, just because it's the most powerful thing that ever existed, because I don't know what Miyazaki was thinking when he decided how it would have been. So right now with Dark Beats, RTSR, the Crown Dust, and all that sort of stuff, it's just gonna melt through bosses. So you should have a pretty cozy end of the run.
Yeah, this is the really fun part.
yeah, nothing is set in stone, especially when it does the stylish jump. Nothing set in stone. GG on that. So jumping over to that broken pillar and move swapping on the jump is quite bug, if I do say so myself. But yeah.
Style points
So
goes to Sass, 10 out of 10.
yeah, definitely. And yeah, as I was saying, like in a race, you never know, but if everything doesn't go too wrong, it should be pretty okay. And quite a clean Manus fight, by the way.
Not the best RNG there, but yeah, pretty decent
But
fight.
still pretty good. GG on that. Clean fight.
Now for the fun part, all the dark bead, everything that we've kind of worked into, just demolishing bosses. But like you said, it's not smooth sailing from here. There's still a few things that need to be executed well to like have a good run.
Yep. And again, this game can just turn a 180 on you and just blast you into space. So what we're seeing right now, the reason it's quitting out is because when you when you get back into the game, like you get pushed slightly backwards. And what it's doing here, it's just gonna clip through the elevator as it loads into the game. So you can see the elevator loads into the game a little bit after the rest of the map. And so at some point, it's gonna be able to clip right through it just now. And if you don't hit a wild branch, you can plunge right into the Fire Sage Demon's head, and that basically breaks his eye. I mean, that's not the reason that the eye breaks, but I like to think that's because of the head bonk.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you bonked him out so hard that he's like out for the fight. But no, I think it's one of the most impressive fights. It's just so cool to watch because the AI of a boss in Dark Souls is only activated by entering the fog gate. So if you never enter the fog gate, the AI is just asleep. And the head bonk is just a really nice touch and plunge to just get that damage on there and land on the boss. Then be able to take care of the rest with Dark Bead.
There's some ways to basically deny bosses from AI for quite a few other bosses. They're not always useful in speedruns, but they're there. It looks like it was a 2-hitter, but Centipede even is out as well.
It's just gonna go fast from here.
You should. And right now, the only thing that they should be afraid of, I mean, it could be afraid of, it's really missing the Toki bombs. Because we're about to see him doing better kills in a way that's also widely known by challenge runners, speedrunners, casual runners all over the world, which is a way to skip the Bed of Chaos fight. Because that's not a very good fight. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, it's really awfully designed. There's like, even if you wanted to, it's not fun to even go through that mess of like trying to find an alternative way to fight it. And yeah, Turkey Bombs, I think, is one of the longest known strategies for speedruns, Dark Souls speedruns. I believe it's like almost like 10 years now that it's been utilized. Definitely. It saves like a whole minute. It's so comfortable, like once you kind of like know the visual cues, but you're basically just like tossing a firebomb at the orbs on the other side of the boss to be able to like get into. I believe it's Izalith, right, herself, to be able to kill her.
Yep. Yeah, and the only thing that can really kill you with these strats when you practice long enough, it's a wild firestorm at the end. But with the amount of health he has, he should be fine because he can just block it and survive a couple hits.
Yeah, it's not even just like a wild firestorm, but even if you like aim too slow and you take a little bit too long, then Izalith can like wind up the attack. Yeah, sometimes it does happen though. Sometimes like runners are caught with a wild firestorm that they definitely did not see coming at all. All could have gone well.
That's what I said when you practice long enough. Cause,
yeah.
Like if you do your part correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you can, yeah. And also this sister can be quite weird at times, but it should be fine. Especially if you mess up the pathing a little bit, if you start sprinting a little bit too late or too early, or you don't have full stamina, she can be quite problematic at times, but so what it's gonna do is gonna move to a very specific spot, aim his bow just to make sure that the bombs get thrown in the right direction, and then just throw the bombs. The only, not the only, but the most difficult part of this is just right now stopping before the cinematic starts. Because if you're still moving your analog stick before the cinematic starts, it's just gonna keep moving, and so the cinematic will end, and you will have no idea where you are, and that can be quite deadly. But it did very well.
No
So
firestorm.
GG on that.
Yep, looking safe.
Yep.
So what route would you want to run if you were going to do all bosses?
Probably ESM.
Yeah, you said ESM
Just-
Malus. Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you looking
Yeah.
so I meant what are you looking forward to most if you run ESM Malus?
I guess implementing BTS in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure whether it's gonna save, because if people don't do it, there must be two reasons. One is because the turn is obviously a race, so they don't want to risk it. But there's probably another reason as well. So I would love to do it with BTS, but I'm not sure whether a viable setup for that exists or not. But one can be found, so it'll be pretty interesting.
Is there anything you're not looking forward to learning, maybe?
Good question. Actually, can I answer differently for my
Sure.
previous
Yeah.
question? I'm looking forward to doing green without the dragon tooth.
Okay. That's fair.
But yeah,
Dragon Tooth
let's
Gwyn is
just
annoying.
say, yeah, it can be. Like if you practice it long enough, you can get quite consistent. Like I feel like I reached that point right now, but it's still a B word sometimes. But yeah, but it looks quite a fun route, to be honest. I'm sure I regret my words when I actually start doing it.
You probably are going to eat your words. Mhm.
Yep.
It's going to happen really fast because I feel like that's what it's like when you kind of learn a route. You're excited to do some things and then you realize, no, I don't like this at all. I've actually come to
Definitely.
hate it now.
Yeah. So at this point, it's basically just no, never mind. Later. So
No, we
yeah,
gotta get to.
Nito can still kind of be problematic,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll see. Like since his opponent actually forfeited, he's probably gonna grab the safety bonfire, so he should be fine even if he gets a death.
I think it comes down to the plunge that he's probably gonna do as well, going down into Pinwheel to see how that plays out. Because he could technically mess that up as well. It does happen.
Yeah, sure, it does happen. But me personally, like I'd rather die to me messing up than to weird RNG or behavior from bosses. So, because at the end of the day, like if you mess up the plunges, it's it's your fault. You can correct it. You're just not in the right mindset or something. But a Nido, sometimes you just get weird stuff happening, and that's not pleasant. But we'll see how he does. Also, he might even not go for the plunges, to be honest. But yeah, he goes for the plunge. Oh, then well.
Going
sort
completely
of.
for air roll.
Yeah. A good one, because it looked like the skull was kind of in his way. Yeah, it's quite unlucky to trigger that specific RNG from the bone wheel with hinted body. It does happen, but usually you're fine. There you go.
Did we talk about air rolls at all?
I don't think we have. So you want to go for it?
I mean, yeah, I can describe it because they're really different actually in remastered and the regular edition of the game. But basically, it's about getting a specific, a certain percentage of your maximum equip load, and obviously, like with every route, that's gonna look a little bit different. How you're gonna set that up, and basically rolling off an edge, and you'll be able to continually roll in the middle of the air until you reach the ground. Obviously, that has a limit. You can't air roll forever. So that there are actually instances where, you know, people have to like do certain setups to air roll all the way to the bottom safely. But I think in Prepare to Die, it's like less than 25% is the equip load that you need to be able to pull it off. Ooh, Foggate skip. Oh, that is nice.
Yeah.
He's pulling out all the stops there for us.
Yeah, it's I mean, I kind of made it into a meme during this tourney because I just love it. Simply because when I started running No Wrong War for DSR, I just didn't know any other way. And so I just was forced to learn it. And so I just love it. But the reason why most runners don't do it is because it really saves like a second and a half or something, and it's quite risky. Just because the camera can go its own way and mess up your jump. But yeah, it looks like he went through it pretty
Yeah,
decently, and
I think he did
yeah,
it for you. Ike might be right. It might be just, you know, to flatter the judge as he
yeah.
commentates on the run.
Well, he certainly got my style points
Oh, you
for the
flustered?
night.
Flustered, Elthorn?
Yeah, I am. I don't know if you could hear, but I was clapping in the background.
I don't think I heard that, sadly.
No.
Ooh, neither going real well. Awesome.
There you go. Pretty decent Nito fight. So at this point in the run, well, I guess you could consider 4 Kings still not cleanup, but it's mostly in the cleanup phase. So it should have, I guess, the seal skip could be quite problematic at times, but we'll see. So what he's gonna do right now, he's gonna basically clip out of bounds, and which should kill you, but it's gonna quit out before the game actually kills him. And that way it's gonna load back into out of bounds, and he's just gonna walk straight to the 4 Kings arena without doing any of the other stuff that you would normally have to do.
I think everyone, as far as I know, does it with like mouse and keyboard, sort of just like, you know, hitting the WASD buttons to basically like push you off the ledge just enough that, you know, you can quit
Yeah.
out in time. But I know some people have like more flashier, consistent setups where like you do a running and do a, yeah, the strike right there, the thrust.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it was with the analog sticks. So it looks like, but yeah, but the difficult part about this stuff is basically so the game does not always have the same gravity for some reason. Sometimes you can fall faster or slower or just the regular way, but so you have to quit out at a very specific time. And if the game decides to just throw you down like you were on Jupiter or something, like that's a pretty bad time.
I think half
But it did
the
fine.
skill, if you're like new to speedrunning for the first time, is like learning how to quit out in a timely manner.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because there's a little bit of delay whenever any menu opens. There's a little bit of delay for you to start mashing buttons, not mashing, but like pressing your buttons. And so you have to time it properly in order to start actually doing stuff and not end up in a part of the menu that you're not used to. And yeah, that was a pretty decent 1 King fight.
Yeah, 1 King.
And at this point is officially in the cleanup phase. So the only bosses that he has left before facing Gwyn are Gaping Dragon and Capra Demon. Yeah.
Which is fun to do, because I think he's gonna do the skip into from Capra into Quelaag, right?
Into Gaping. It's gonna do the jump here to get to lower under.
Oh, okay, no, okay,
Berg.
so we're
Yeah.
not. Okay,
Yeah.
my bad. I was just thinking of something else.
And he made it, so no rubbish for him.
Yeah, first try.
And this is the part where Eden Body really shines, because
The dogs
it just
are
saves so much time
annoying
and makes it so faster. Yeah.
here.
There you go. And it's gonna quit out just to reset the dogs outside, so it's gonna have an easier time dealing with them. And there you go. Because basically what you do is you quit out at the at the exact time you get the boss souls and key, so that basically the game is still gonna think that the arena is not safe for you to be in, and so you're just gonna be outside of the fog gate, and you can just roll back into the hole. There you go. So we can see him running towards Gaping Dragon right now, the last boss before Gwyn, and he should not have many issues. There's only one attack that can really bother you, but it doesn't even bother you that much. It just loses a bit of time as soon as you recognize it soon enough. We'll see how it does. And there you go.
And
He almost actually got caught by it, but he managed to roll. Yeah.
funny enough that where he aimed last is where Gaping Dragon takes most damage.
Yeah. And there you go. And now we're on our way to Gwyn.
Yes!
So at this point, there's technically one thing that could still kill him,
The knights,
which
for
is the
RTS,
knight.
Mhm.
Yeah, not the one for RTSR really. That could just roll him,
The
but
other
the one,
yeah.
yeah, the third knight, because
Mhm.
sometimes it does. Like usually it's safe, but there's one specific attack that it does that can hit you, and if you're just already thinking about your PB and stuff, just get distracted and forget to roll that one. So we'll see. A little reminder for him if he's listening.
Yeah, but let's hope that this knight behaves and actually gives him a really quick RTSR setup. Because this one can be really annoying. Like if you're in a close PB and you like are just ahead by a few seconds, and if this knight doesn't give you an optimal attack and attack you straight away and just like doesn't see you at all, then you can lose potentially a lot of time trying to set it up again. It's not something you want happen. You really want him to just come at you with that attack and keep going.
Definitely, that can be a troll. And of course, actually, I'm not gonna say it because I'm gonna jinx it for him. So I'll just eat my words. But yeah, at this point, that's like basically the parry left.
And people have choked the parry.
Oh,
There,
definitely.
I said
I was gonna. Yeah, what I was gonna say is the game can just decide the hitboxes are not a thing anymore, and so just completely ignore your parry. So we'll see. And there you go. And that's a GG.
That's why
So let's
you
see
like
if he
this
grabs
over
the
Dragon
right.
Tooth?
Oh, bad ending, really?
Are you judging him for the bad ending?
A little bit, just a little bit. Okay,
I don't know how I
GG.
feel about you anymore. I might have to do commentary with you again, Elthorand. Bad
Oh,
ending?
well,
Good ending.
well, I will stick to my guns because, yeah, I would
Ooh.
just smother that flame every day. Okay,
Saastutin with a
so well,
107.19.
yeah, that's pretty good run actually. Like,
Yeah.
you only died at ONS, right?
Yeah,
And like we
exactly.
said, yeah, like we said earlier, like that fight doesn't even lose you that much time if you die. So pretty good run. And I guess it's about time to bring him in and
I
have a chat
don't
with
know
him.
if he can actually stop in because he was having some like weird Discord memes of disconnect issues and whatnot. But
Oh, that
if
was him.
yeah, if like Sass can like basically hear us and wants to join in, then he's more than welcome. Discord is done. Okay, all right. So
Oh, okay, I see.
can you believe it? We finish off like a race
Yeah.
slash run, and we have no one to interview, Elthorand.
Oh, so what do you think about dogs?
What do I think about dogs? I love dogs. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. I just don't have the energy for them.
I
But
mean, I hope you don't.
eh,
Why would that be?
I don't look. They're just too much for me to handle personally. So I'm a cat person, but
I see.
I love Franker Z. Franker Z is a good dog. Lil Z is a good
Okay,
dog. They're all good
I see. I
dogs.
see. But honestly, like a pretty pog run for Saastutin, like a 107 IGT,
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty good. And
Pretty fantastic run.
even yeah, and even in real time, 110 is still pretty dang good, especially in a race environment. Like, cause I'm not sure whether he knew that he was alone, but people have been saying no in chat. So GG's us, well
Yeah,
played.
well done. We'll see how things carry forward. As you will find, I believe the Dark Souls tournament brackets in the panels, and as well, I think there are commands for it if you want to see who's coming up next, what are the next races that are going to go live. There's also a schedule there, and if you join our Discord, discord.gg/speedsouls, we have this nice little feature on Discord now, which is called events, and you can like literally see whenever another tournament race is going to take place, and you can even I think sign up for reminders for it. So, and even if you're just in the Discord, there is like a nice little banner that says, hey, this event is ongoing right now. So really easy to keep tabs
Yep,
on what's coming up next, if you want to
yep,
join
yep,
our
yep.
Discord. Hmm.
And what's coming right after this? It's a very exciting race going on the other side of the bracket, actually.
Yeah, tell us about it.
But it's yeah, and it's Rigol versus Nax. So we're getting the winning bracket. So two of the very top of the leaderboards in a speedrun. Rigol obviously very well known, Nax as well. So it's gonna be pretty interesting to see.
Yeah,
Not to say that the losing side of the bracket is not interesting, especially since we have Kada in there. but um, but yeah, definitely an exciting run.
I would say definitely don't miss the last of this because the Dark Souls 1 tournament has been a lot of fun and a lot of hard work has been put into it to make it happen. So it'll be exciting to catch out the semifinals, the finals, the lower rounds, and how they turn out. But I know, Elthrin, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I would like to say everybody just join the Discord for real because it's a really good community. Like we all have to constantly thank the community for making all this possible, not just the tourneys that they organize, but also the charity marathon, and for all the support that they give noobs like myself, for example. Like it's such a friendly community, and you should definitely join.
I
'Cause,
agree. It's
yeah,
awesome. But thanks, Elthrin, for joining me. It was nice
yeah,
talking to
thank you.
you. And
Yeah, thanks.
I think we're going to be raiding someone. So if y'all want to join us on a raid, I think it's going to be someone within the community, then we'll see where we get taken to.
Yep. So thanks everyone again for being here, and you have a nice rest of your day slash evening slash night, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, we're going to Giant Cookie Jar, who's discovered a lot of the stuff for Bloodborne. Really good person. So definitely go over to Cookie and hang out. But yeah, see y'all next time. Bye bye.
Yeah. See ya. Bye.